Chelsea centre back Renata Vega is in Turin, a loan to Juventus until the end of the season. They're yet to show an official interest in Manchester United's Alejandro Garnacho.
Right, interesting comments, and we're also hearing just now that the future of Garnacho holds the key to Manchester United's dealings in this transfer window, and it could be a knock-on effect, which we'll talk about in a moment. But in terms of Garnacho, as I said, not exactly a ringing endorsement that from his manager that it will stay, was it? We know that Napoli are interested. There's a gap in valuation, though, in terms of Napoli and Manchester United. Chelsea are also interested. Marcus Rashford is now looking harder to shift, isn't he, in January for United? Do you think there's a correlation between those news and now, all of a sudden, these Garnacho rumours are just getting stronger?
Absolutely. I think Garnacho is that domino that, if that falls, you will see the rest. Because you're looking at Manchester United with not much flexibility in terms of finances in this window. We're looking at Patrick Dorgu potentially coming in as a knock-on effect from Anthony, so that's not really anything to do with this. If Manchester United want to do anything else serious within this window and get Ruben Amorim some players who maybe fit his system and further develop the squad, Garnacho's going to have to be a big part of that, and that's a reason why he was non-committal. That's a big reason why Ruben Amorim was saying anything can happen in this window, we don't know. But also what's happening is, and I felt this in the stadium in the game against Rangers, that it feels quite awkward with the match-going fans, because the fans were singing his name, he was bright on the ball, and he didn't feel like a player who's being forced out by the manager, having a torrid time. His confidence is not there. He was applauding at the Stretford end. It didn't have that feel of someone who's on his sort of last legs of his Manchester United career, but seems to be in the balance because of PSR, because of Manchester United not having many sellable, tangible assets that they could reinvest into the squad. And now it's a damning indictment on Manchester United's finances that this is where they are, the fact they've got to sell one of their biggest prospects. So I think it's a tough situation for him to be in, but clearly Ruben Amorim has been told this is a possibility. This is a possibility, but he's also talking about the improvements that he's making. And more importantly, he's continuing to pick him. Ruben Amorim's clearly shown us, if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're not going to play. You're not even going to be on the bench. So the fact that Garnacho keeps playing shows me and a lot of Manchester United fans, and probably shows Garnacho, that he does believe in him, but at the moment, it's a possibility.
Yeah. Just want to pivot slightly over to Chelsea. Why would Chelsea want Garnacho when you look at what they've got?
It is very interesting because, of course, they have so many options out wide, especially the likes of João Felix, Pedro Neto, Noni Madueke and Jadon Sancho. But actually, when you look at the numbers in the Premier League, combined all four players in the Premier League, you're looking at 11 goals and 10 assists. 7 of those have come from Noni Madueke himself. I think you look at Felix, it probably hasn't quite worked out once again this season in the Premier League so far. Pedro Neto hasn't really shown those numbers that he previously has shown at Wolves. But then you'd also argue Alejandro Garnacho isn't necessarily guaranteeing you those numbers either. So perhaps Chelsea are looking to continue a younger profile of player in their squad and probably fits their system a bit more, being an out-and-out winger. I think the question really is that Christopher Nkunku, and I'm sure we'll talk about him soon, but really does he unlock a lot of these transfers, because he's the one who's not playing all that much at Chelsea. We'll have to wait and find out. But I think there's a few wingers there that Enzo Maresca will want more production from.
OK, well, let's talk about Nkunku then, because he is a potential Manchester United target in the window, although they will not meet Chelsea's £70 million valuation of the forward just yet. Again, this obviously could be something that happens straight after Garnacho, if that deal goes through. Just want to get your thoughts on Nkunku, and how he would fit into the Manchester United system, to the Ruben Amorim
honestly,
system.
You couldn't write this. On a personal, listen, I'm so neutral. I have no idea why Chelsea want Garnacho, I'll be honest. Right. They need a goalkeeper. They need help in midfield. They need competition for Nicholas Jackson as a out-and-out number 9. So, as a neutral, I have no idea why Chelsea would entertain 60 million north for Alejandro Garnacho, but that's a Chelsea issue.
Do you think Nkunku going the other way?
Nkunku going the other way,
better deal for United?
Nkunku going the other way has some pros and cons. The pros are he fits the system instantly better than Garnacho does. Him playing as a left 10 or a right 10, that's that's cash money for Nkunku. That's what he's made his career off. He's a very talented player. He's 27 years of age. He's in his prime. The problems are injuries since he's arrived here. He missed 48 games via injury last season, 22 injuries. 22 games out the season before that. Difficult position, but alone a short-term option to the end of the season with maybe an option for Manchester United would probably help. But Manchester United, in my opinion, should not be committing significant funds with a big contract, lengthy contract, to somebody who's come to the league, and especially with what's happened with Mason Mount as well. Chelsea probably saw a trick come in there. I think it'll be naive of Manchester United to offer Nkunku a big contract.
More likely a loan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
That would be fine.
I think it's kind of